Hi, my name is Yong, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Green Dot. We started Green Dot in 2011 in a canteen store at the Polytechnic Design School. We wanted to provide meat-free alternatives for our juniors. My co-founder, Justin Cho, and I were secondary school mates at Chongqing High School, Maine. I remember when we first met during orientation camp, the teacher asked if anyone has any special diet requirement. He raised up his hands and he said that he's a vegetarian. There was silence, followed by some laughter. To many of us then, the word vegetarian was very unfamiliar to us. Is it a meal with only vegetables? Justin was a little plump then, and we were all thinking, how could Justin grow to his size just by eating vegetables? Justin then replied, because chocolates and Coca-Cola are suitable for a vegetarian too. That was how our friendship started. Justin's mom started a vegetarian buffet restaurant called Lotus Vegetarian when we were 15 years old. I remember having a class gathering at his mom's restaurant that really changed my impression of vegetarian food. There were more than 100 types of vegetarian cuisine and they were delicious. From then on, my impression of vegetarian cuisine changed. It is not the typical vegetarian hawker stall with what we call the zai mi fen with mock meats. It's about using natural plant-based ingredients and flavors to reimagine our local delicacies. After completing my national service, I went on to enroll in NUS Business School, and when I was in year 2, we started our first store at Temasek Poly. I remember having to put in very long hours juggling between work and studies. I packed my modules into 2 days and go to school for class for those 2 days, and for the rest of the week, I work. It was one of the most challenging periods of my Green Dot journey, and this hardship also made me realize that manpower is a critical challenge we must resolve if we want to continue to grow our business. Eventually, we expanded to 3 other schools and we had a team of about 15 people. However, already by this time, we were facing a manpower challenge then, as our business in school is seasonal, and that is, the stores operated according to the school's academic calendar. This means we are closed during the school holidays. As such, some of our staff move on to find other jobs as we can't pay them during the holidays. We constantly had to find new staff whenever school reopened, and this constant retraining process was tiring. In 2013, we reached a crossroad. Should we continue to expand in school or move into the commercial malls? We decided to test out our concept in the commercial mall by setting up a kiosk prototype at Bedok Mall. It was also this outlet that made me realize the harsh reality of running an F&B business. We were operating 5 days with rest days on the weekends while we were operating in school. We had the weekends to recharge and regroup, but technically, we were a 7-day operation in the shopping malls. We wanted to give up so many times and kept doubting ourselves and our business. I was working 13 hours a day, 7 days a week just to get by. It was then I started to tell myself I need to seriously think about how we can build a right team to help us grow Green Dot. With our kiosk concept well received, we then took the leap of faith and set up our flagship store at Paya Lebar Square in 2014. We then expanded quickly over the next few years to 11 outlets and over 160 employees. The key to our recruitment strategy is using design thinking to recruit the right staff. And when it comes to recruitment, the keyword is not hiring, but attracting. We must be proactive, and the recruitment process is a constant process. We cannot stop our search for good people. If we are hiring based on our manpower needs, we will be too slow. Even though our outlets might have enough manpower now, we cannot stop hiring because F&B is a fast-moving and unpredictable industry. Many F&B businesses tend to focus a lot on branding and promoting their brand to customers, but not to their employees. However, it is important to start an employer's branding early to attract the right talent in this competitive F&B landscape. Before we start the attraction process, we need to sit down and think about what we actually stand for. What is our organization culture? There is no right or wrong culture. There's only authentic or superficial culture, which means what we say and what we do doesn't match. And this culture starts from the founder. The founder himself or herself needs to sit down and think about what the organization stands for and what kind of people are we looking for. We talk a lot about finding the right people, but what is actually a right talent for us? Talent to us is a person with three things: the right values, the right purpose of work, and the right capabilities. Right values refer to values that are aligned with the company values. This person must believe in the values of the company. Right purpose of work refers to the pride and the meaning of the work. We need to understand the reason why this person wants to be in this particular industry. Many of our staff join us because they want to promote a plant-based diet to more people. They identify themselves with our mission of helping people to take care of themselves through the food we serve. And right capabilities and experience refers to the number of years of working experience in the relevant industry, as well as having the technical skills required for the role. For example, bilingual language ability for the service crew and also the cooking skills for the kitchen crew. And to help my team recruit the right staff, I came up with this hiring guide. A lot of F&B would just hire anyone because we are always in shortage of manpower. It boils down to whether we have the discipline to say no to the people whose values are not aligned with us. As you can see, I classified the three categories: right values, right purpose, and right capabilities. So you have to see which category this person falls into. And as we do not have a competitive salary when we first started, we can only find people who are new to the industry, but with the right values and the right purpose of work. We set our core values very early in the Green Dot journey, which we call the 三颗心、用心、关心，还有爱心, which translate to putting your heart into whatever you do, caring for the people around you, and be kind and compassionate. We want to look for people who possess such values. Of course, at the current stage now, as I build the HQ team, our strategies has evolved. Different stages of business require different strategies. We now need to find people with the right capabilities too. However, let me illustrate by telling you more about two staff members. The first person, who is someone very important to me. Her name is Auntie Mabel. She is currently our executive chef, and she has been with us for 9 years. She was hired as a cook previously, and she's a vegetarian but had no previous working experience. She started her career as a cook at Tanjong Katong Girls' School and moved on to become outlet managers of several outlets. Eventually, she became our executive chef, coming up with menus and training many of our cooks at the outlet. I remember an incident where we were working on the shift at Bedok Mall outlet. My role for that day was to be a cook, and Auntie Mabel was working as the bento server. At the end of the day, we will filter out our oil in the deep fryer and wash the fryer. And because of our long hours of work, my hands had cuts all over and my skin became sensitive and painful due to the constant washing. Auntie Mabel then offered to help me wash the fryer even though it was not her responsibility. I told her, it's okay, I can wash it. When we work at the outlet, there is no boss and employee. We are equal and we all have to do our roles. Auntie Mabel then replied, and what she said left a deep impression in my heart till today. We are different. I'm already 55, but you're only 25. You have a long way to go, and I don't know how many more years I have, and I want to help. And with that, I really thank her for all the years with us, and that really left a deep impression in me. The next person, also someone very, very important to us, and her name is B. King. She is our HR and finance manager who has been with us for 5 years. She was hired as a service crew initially, but she had previous auditing experience with an MNC. She wanted to work as a service crew as the hours are more flexible, and she quit her high-flying job to have more time to take care of her mother, and this job offered her the flexibility. But after 3 days of working at the outlet, we realized that she has so much more to offer to help us, and we asked her to help us out in the HQ with our finance. Eventually, B. King then moved on to become our finance and HR head, and helped us build the team from scratch. Even though she didn't have the experience in these two areas, but with her right values and right purpose of work, she built her capabilities over the years with a humble and willing to learn attitude. We were thankful as she stayed with us and helped us through our toughest and darkest period. We believe in the law of attraction. You attract people who are like you. My lowest point of career in Green Dot was a period during 2018 to 2019 where we had many outlets, but many of our outlets were not making money. I was really ashamed of myself. Also, there was high turnover of staff due to our rapid expansion and the operations were messy. As a result, our food quality and consistency were compromised. We weren't ready for the quick expansion and the team was falling apart. I then took a 3-day break and went for a spiritual retreat. That was when I realized that all the problems that we were facing was because of me. The problems will keep recurring unless I started to change myself. For example, I was lenient and used my kindness without wisdom. This caused the good staff to leave and the not so good ones to stay on. The good people were tired because they were the one doing the most, yet they were getting the same reward as the rest. We had the same salary scale across all roles, and staff who were working at the busier outlets got the same pay as those working in the quieter outlets. Of course, salary is important, but staff care more about fairness. The unfair salary scale made us lose a few good staff, and the not so good staff were happy to stay. We then readjusted the pay grade of certain roles and added a sales incentive system to reward the staff. Together with many different strategies, our manpower became more stable. Thus, before we start our attraction process, we need to sieve out the manpower problems recurring in the organization and resolve them. There's no tried and tested method in HR. It's all about solving the recurring problems in your organization, and with that, you can start your attraction process. And first of all, one of the most effective way, referral. Our employees are actually our best agent. Treat them genuinely and they will refer more people to join you. Auntie Mabel, elder sister, is an attendant runner at Bedok Mall outlet, and her younger sister is actually our bento server at Next outlet. People only recommend others to work in the same workplace as them if they feel comfortable or proud of working for the brand. And if this staff is the right talent to us, the people they recommend are usually similar to them. And this is what we call the law of attraction, attracting the right people. Second, tap into the power of social medias and websites because they are free. You need to understand your target audience and craft the right message for them. This is a screenshot of our careers page on our website. Usually, if you look at a few careers page of other websites, mostly are in English. But when we first started, we realized that our target audience are the aunties and uncles, and they are mainly Chinese educated. And that's why I personally took time out to write and share about our values and culture so that the right people will be attracted. In fact, many of my longest serving HQ staff first wrote to us through our website inquiries after reading this, and they stayed with us till today. Also, it's very important for the founder and the CEO to have a personal branding at the start and to actively go around and share about the company and the culture. I personally take time to do this even though my schedule is really packed, and sometimes it really takes a lot of commitment to do this. This is what I call the attraction process, and we need to put in effort to do so intentionally. Most importantly, do not outsource our HR. This is very important. The CEO needs to be personally involved in HR. This, we think, is the most important role in the company during the growth stage. I personally still sit in some interviews for the ground staff to see and guide our HR team in hiring the right staff. I also sit in the interviews of the key leaders and also new business roles. It is one of the best investment of my time. We also need to think about our interview questions. This will help us sieve out the right candidates. For example, I always feel that people people with good relationships with their loved one tend to be able to work well with others. A healthy relationship is a foundation to a good career. Thus, we tend to craft some questions regarding healthy habits and family relationships. With a good health and a good relationship, the staff can then focus his or her effort on the career. With the right people, the culture starts to form. And to me, culture is the way we do things in the organization and the values that drive our decision as well as action. It's not about what we write on the wall, about our vision and mission. It's about the people we hire and the authenticity of the founder's personality. Be true to yourself and choose a culture that is authentic and resonates with you. There is no good or bad culture, but when a culture is authentic, it's so attractive. When you hire the right person with the right values, you strengthen your organization culture. For example, if your culture is about fun and excitement, you hire someone who is fun and outgoing, then that fun and outgoing culture becomes clearer. Conversely, if you hire someone who is serious and laid back, the culture becomes less fun. Thus, a culture is the sum of the personality and the values of the people in your organization. We need to be clear on who we want to add to our team. We need to protect our culture. A lot of businesses talk about being a family-oriented organization at their initial stage. Green Dot also does that. But I realize being a family is not enough. An organization needs to be like a family, a school, and at the same time, a military unit. Family members accept each other's flaws and we love them for who they are. We need to accept that everyone has different background, different personality, especially in the F&B industry, where we are a very diverse group of people. We also need to be like a school that constantly grows together. And our job as a leader is to groom more leaders. And lastly, very important, we need to be like a military unit. A military unit has clear and strict guidelines to protect the things that we value. It also provides the right incentive to reward the right action. We understand that ultimately, all this must lead to results. It cannot be just about building team and culture. People are our biggest asset, and the increase in profits is actually derived from the growth of the people. Thus, how fast a company can grow depends on how fast the people can grow and how capable the company is in attracting talents to join them with the resources it has. Focus on your people and it will bring the best return of investment for you. Lastly, I want to leave you with something I really believe in, which is to focus on who you are becoming rather than what you are accumulating. If you become a good person, the good things will be attracted to you. And money is a byproduct of the excellence in the things you do. If you are good in what you do, money will also follow. And take care of your relationships and money will take care of itself. Thank you.